Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you wanna get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
What's bubbling, magical people? Welcome back to the Witching Hour with Miss Merlin, where we like to talk about all things witchy and magical. I'm your host, Kimmi, aka Miss Merlin, High Priestess and Shamaness, Medicine Woman, Psychic Medium, and Witch Extraordinaire. So, let's jump on in. Today, Miss Krystal Wray is back. Hello, Krystal Wray.
Hello, lovely witchy people. It's great to be back.
Yes, happy magical Saturday. I asked Krystal if she'd like to be on the podcast this week, and she was like, yes, absolutely. But what are we going to talk about? And I was like, let's talk about llamas.
Well, I was in the middle of working a shift, okay? I was driving, and I listened to her voice note to talk about llamas, and I sat there for a minute, completely puzzled, and I was like, llamas? What do you mean we're going to do a whole hour podcast about llamas, like the animal? I'm so super confused right now. I have no idea what you're talking about, but I was trying to make it make sense. I was like, we're witchy, we're spiritual. I mean, maybe there's like something super significant about the llama that we can spend an hour talking about. Who knows? And then, but I wanted to make sure before I responded back so like quickly, I really sat down and thought about it. And then a minute later, I was like, Kimmi, I'm sorry, I don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we doing a podcast about llamas? I don't understand. Please explain to me. Yeah. And then go ahead, tell them your response.
Well, I died laughing for about 10 minutes, first of all. And then I had to let her know that I was talking about the Sabbath, actually, Lughnasadh and Lammas. So I actually use the term Lughnasadh. Why I brought it up as Lammas, everything happens for a reason, must have been because we needed to look up the spirit animal message of the llama. So take it away, Krystal Wray. She's going to give it to us.
Okay, so here we go. Llamas represent this quiet strength and perseverance. They're built to carry heavy loads and move through challenging terrain. And in that way, they really remind us that we can handle more than we think, that we're resilient even when things feel heavy. They're also incredibly adaptable. They thrive in all kinds of climates and landscapes, which to me feels like a reminder that no matter what life throws at you, you can adjust, you can shift, and you can keep going without losing yourself. What I also love about the llama is how it moves. It's got this calm, intentional energy, like it knows where it's going and it doesn't rush. That's a lesson right there. Yeah. Like, stay focused, stay grounded, and trust your consistent steps as you go somewhere, as you're like moving forward. And here's the thing, llamas are social creatures. They use little vocal sounds to connect with one another. Mm-hmm. So if llama is showing up for you, it might be asking you to speak your truth, check in with your community, and communicate with more clarity and love. In some indigenous traditions, like with the Inca, llamas were seen as sacred beings, even used in spiritual ceremonies. So this animal might be guiding you back to your own divine path, reminding you that your journey, your work, your healing, it all matters. And lastly, llama energy feels hopeful. I've got this vibe that says, or it's got this vibe that says, keep going. You're going to see the fruits of your labor. You're not just doing all of this for nothing. So if the llama's been showing up in your dreams, your meditations, or even just on your feed, pay attention, and it's reminding you that your strength, your purpose, and the beauty of the path you're walking And that actually has super connection to a bunch of other things that we're going to talk about right now with leadership and labor and making things happen.
Yeah. Yeah. And so be paying attention to spirit animals that are showing up in your existence right now, because that is a really, really big message for sure. We're going to talk about a little bit more about that later, because actually, after we give you a little bit of the history and tell you a little bit about Lughnasadh, and we're going to give you some little witchy ideas too with it, we're actually going to do a little bit of a reading for you as well, and give you another spirit animal message. So let's get into it. So Lughnasadh is the harvest festival. It's the start of the autumn season. So autumn on the seasonal years, August, September, October. So Lughnasadh is also known as Brontrogin. It means the sorrow of the earth, when everything is kind of being like dying off and being harvested. It's a pagan holiday celebrating the first harvest, typically around August 1st and the weekends around August 1st. It has Celtic origins, named after the Irish god Lugh. We're going to get into some more about him later. While some Norse pagans may observe it, it doesn't have any ancient historical ties to Norse paganism. While Lughnasadh's primary roots are deeply Celtic, its themes of harvest and gratitude are universal, and similar celebrations can be found in other cultures, sometimes influencing or being influenced by the Celtic tradition itself. Here are some other ties or connections. So we have Lammas, and Lammas is usually what the Sabbath is referred to in the Wiccan community. It's more referred to as Lughnasadh for pagan, neo-pagan, non-denominational, etc., etc. But Lammas actually comes from Anglo-Saxon, early English Christian. It means loaf mass. So referring to the Mass of Loaves in the early Christian England traditions. It became a harvest festival when the first loaves of bread were baked from the new grain and were brought to the church to be blessed. While Christianized, it clearly inherited and continued the ancient tradition of celebrating the first harvest and making things from its bounty. Many modern pagans and Wiccans today use Lughnasadh or Lammas kind of interchangeably, often blending the elements from both traditions. Wiccans, like I said, mostly use the term Lammas, while Lughnasadh is widely pagan. Hey,
it's Ryan Seacrest. Life comes at you fast, which is why it's important to find some time to relax. A little you time. Enter Chumba Casino. With no download required, you can jump on anytime, anywhere for the chance to redeem some serious prizes. So treat yourself with Chumba Casino and play over 100 online casino-style games, all for free. Go to ChumbaCasino.com to collect your free welcome bonus. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu.
The idea of celebrating the first fruits of the harvest, though, is fundamental human tradition. It appears in various forms across many cultures worldwide, regarding specific deity worship, including, I'll give you a few examples. The green corn ceremony, that's from the Creek Nation in North America. It's an annual ceremony focused on the corn harvest, often involving first fruit rites. Then we have Sundance, Lakota, North America. It's a time of gathering and sacrifice for many tribes, sometimes aligning with the harvest themes. Then we have the Yams Festival for the Uri people in Ghana, Papua and New Guinea, and Nigeria. The celebrations are centered around the yam harvest. And then we have various goddess festivals. Many cultures have deities associated with fertility, harvest, and agriculture. And festivals honoring them would often coincide with the harvest times. Examples including the Hopi Corn Mother, Japanese Amaterasu, and the Ukrainian Ziva. The Grim Reaper is a huge sign and symbol of this Sabbath right now because of the death. Also, the sickle being a symbol of the harvest. It's a fire festival. usually happening, well, always actually happening in Leo season, which is a fire sign. It's about feasting, games, competitions, friendly competitions, harvesting, matchmaking too. They used to have, and I think they still do, as terrible as it is, year and a day contracts were kind of like trial marriage, but that was essentially just getting someone to help you with the harvest. And then they have Mehil, which is a working party, which is also a popular concept. It's a community coming together to help each other. So, for example, if somebody's field finished a little bit earlier, the community would come together and go and help them harvest it and gather it and prepare it. And then whoever's field was next, the community would go over and take care of that. So this was a big celebration before the very hard work of harvesting and preparing that harvest for the winter. In Ireland today, the Sabbath weekend is still celebrated with festivals including live art, street art, music, entertainment, people camping out in huge fields, having festivals. The first Sunday in August is also called Danat Cromdav. On Cromdav Sunday, in English, sometimes called Garland Sunday, traditions associated were offerings of flowers and grain on an altar or your doorstep. And so, Krystal, how do you connect to Lughnasadh and Lammas?
Well, thank you for asking. Well, before I get into that, just a quick note to add on to that, to honor the balance of the earth. While we in the Northern Hemisphere are celebrating Lughnasadh, those in the Southern Hemisphere are celebrating Imbolc, which is the spark of early spring. Right. We usually celebrate Imbolc on February 1st up here. Right. So it's a beautiful reminder of the wheel of the year, how the wheel of the year is turning, and it's always dancing. But moving on, so my connection, I have a special connection to Lughnasadh, actually. Not for any special reason in particular, because I celebrate all the holidays pretty equally. Mm-hmm. But I do have a special connection because of the power and the unique power that Lughnasadh actually holds. I always feel super energized, creative, and motivated and full of light. And that really could be because I'm a Leo rising and we're in Leo season. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, we just had the energy of the new moon, of the Leo new moon, just a few days ago. Yeah. And I don't know what it is. It's just, this is a time I often feel inspired to start something new. And I always have like a bunch of ideas about things that I want to do, and I start things, and some of the things I don't finish because they don't feel aligned with me. But it's always in connection to something else. And right now, I am deeply aligned with launching my business. I'm doing the work. I'm feeling grounded in my purpose. And this Leo season / Lughnasadh is feeling like the one that's really going to push everybody over the edge here, like with getting shit done and feeling even more inspired and grounded to continue the things that they've always wanted to do and their dreams and everything. And I just wanted to segue in, talk about my business just for a quick second. I'm the owner and founder of the Dragon's Nest movement, mm-hmm. and it's a sanctuary for untamed millennial mothers to gather, rewild, and heal through sacred dance and ritual. I guide moms in reconnecting to their roots, bodies, and ancestral truth. And it's not just a movement, it's a sisterhood, and it's a village. So those mothers out there that are feeling defeated, feeling like they have lost themselves, and they really want to reconnect with things that, really inspire them and just make them feel whole again. This is for you. I'm currently teaching in-person classes, workshops, one-on-one coaching, and there are online offerings coming soon with the next layer. And I just want to give a big thanks and shout out to Kimmi for this platform, and for letting me express myself here and having this connection with her. Because I love connection. I love sharing my energy with everybody and meeting new people and having great conversations, just like we are having today.
Yeah.
So thank you, Kimmi. Thank you, Witching Hour, for having me here. But moving on, that's enough about me. The next big shout out that I have is for Lugh. Shout out to the god Lugh.
Yes.
And that is Lugh. He is the Celtic god that this festival is named after. Lugh is a many-skilled god. He's associated with the sun, leadership, creativity, excellence, and craftsmanship. Craftsmanship, do you hear me? Craftsmanship and light itself. So it makes sense that this time of the year feels like such a creative, energized portal, especially if you're feeling the fire of Leo season like I am.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Definitely. I just want to circle back for a second because I was just thinking there, you are talking about your business and connection and like basically starting a tribe, right? And that message of the llama was coming through for you. And a lot of that was about communicating, about, gathering. And it really aligns with the messages for like your business that you're starting and also with the energies of everything that we're talking about today. So I just thought that was really, really interesting. So I just wanted to go back to that.
Absolutely. It's a coming together, it's a gathering, it's a building community, and like you said, that is exactly what we've been talking about, and that's what we feel energetically as a whole as well for the collective.
Yeah. This whole gathering of like-minded souls and like-minded energy and calling in your soul tribe, really. So, Lugh is definitely a part of my soul tribe. I'm going to put, he's actually in the deck that I am writing that's in production right now. And I'm going to put that card on my social media. I'll put a couple other little things too that go along with today's podcast. So Lugh, as Krystal mentioned, means many talents, many skills. Lugh is a central figure in Celtic mythology. He's revered for his immense skills and versatility. He's often called Lughnasadh, which means Lugh of the long arm, for his prowess with the spear, and Semildana, which means skilled in all arts. He embodies mastery in everything from warfare and craftsmanship to poetry and healing. His lineage is really super significant too. He's born to Cian of the Tuatha De Danann, a divine race of gods in Celtic mythology, and Avmu, which is the daughter of the monstrous Formonian leader Baelor. He bridges these two warring factions famously. Lugh's a very heroic figure. He defeats his grandfather, Baelor, the evil one, leading to Tuatha De Danann being victorious. He's also, like Krystal mentioned, associated with light itself and the sun. So he is the sun god in Celtic mythology. And this harvest festival is Lughnasadh, named in his honor. If you'd like to learn more about Lugh or Celtic mythology, the pantheon, their creation story, I actually did an episode about that a little while back, so I will link it in the description for this episode below if you want to check that out. So we're going to get into how to celebrate. And there are some really simple ways that you can honor the holiday. So you can wear and decorate with the colors of the season: yellows, golds, oranges, browns, greens. You can even add these tones to your makeup for a little subtle secret. I love doing that, just adding a little bit of extra gold, a little bit of extra bronzer, a little bit of yellow or green, just highlighting in the shadow lines. Just, it just set an intention when you're doing it too. It's fun. I like to also put a small braid in my hair and weave in a yellow or gold ribbon. It looks like wheat, so it's a representation of that energy. And while I'm weaving and braiding, I'm setting an intention as I'm doing that. You can also play some board games, video games even, for competition and playfulness. Or play sports with friends, even like Frisbee outside, right? Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Definitely the biggest energy. Bringing the balance, right? Feasting. Indulge in a meal of seasonal foods. Since it's a fire festival, barbecuing is always best. Making and indulging in cakes and breads made from flours and grains. This honors the grain by producing something made with its energy. I'll be sharing actually a couple recipes throughout this week on my socials, and I'll link everything below for that. Incorporating foods from the harvest into crafts and recipes is the best way to honor the Sabbath. Using sunflower oil in decorating and in recipes. You can even make your own sunflower oil. It's actually very simple. You can use it on your hair and your skin, like I mentioned, in recipes. When you rub it on your chest, on your heart chakra, it does really magical things. I may do a video on that too and post my recipe. And in this recipe, you use your hands to knead and squeeze the oil out. So you're essentially infusing your own beautiful energy and into that of the properties of the sunflower. You can also make corn dollies. That's another traditional way to celebrate. Corn dolls were made to honor fertility, Mother Earth, and they're seen as the seed of nature. You don't have to just use corn husks. You can use whatever you have on hand. And there's another thing that I'll be making on my socials this week, maybe. So watch out for that. And Krystal has a few excellent ideas also to add in here.
Yes, so we must first talk about the sacred corn.
Yes.
One of the most sacred symbols of Lughnasadh is corn. So roasting corn in its husk is a traditional ritual of this season. And afterwards, you can save the husks to create corn dollies or crafts. Mm-hmm. Corn represents the corn god, who is harvested and dies so that we may eat. And in that, we offer our gratitude for the earth's sacrifice for the sustenance she provides. It's a harvest festival, yes, but it's also a time of reflection, reverence, and honoring the cyclical natural. Today, Mercury's like, he's there.
He's Mercurying.
He's doing Mercurying things, which making me mispronounce words, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. Let me repeat that. So honoring the cyclical nature of life, death, and rebirth.
There you go.
Also, I just want to say that when you season the corn, you are seasoning your corn with salt and pepper. You're not just adding flavor, you're adding symbolism, because the salt represents the sun, which is life-giving, bright, and sacred, and then the pepper represents death, which is the compost, the letting go, the shadow side of the harvest. So together they create this balance. By eating this corn seasoned with intention, you're honoring both the blessings of abundance and the sacredness of the cycle, which is, again, light, dark, life and death, and then giving and receiving.
Right.
So that was a new symbol that I actually really honor now. Like the salt and pepper, I'm like, wow, like everything has a meaning, everything has a symbol.
Yeah,
so
that's
something that you can also incorporate. But now, as a mom myself, I know that sometimes the rituals that we do can get shortened, softened, or improvised. And honestly, that is okay. So here are a couple of easy, creative Lughnasadh rituals that you can do whether you're solo or with the little ones. Number one is what Kimmi was talking about. But instead of using corn husk, if you don't have corn husk, you can use paper strips. So paper strip corn dollies. The corn, what would you say the color of the corn husks are? It's like more of like a tan, maybe almost like a yellowish kind of color, right?
Yeah.
So if you want to get creative, you can either get maybe like a tannish paper, or you can have your child color the paper the color of the corn husks.
Love that.
So no worries. And the paper, you can cut it in pieces and imperfect strips, just like the corn husks would be. So you fold it, and then you wrap them into little figures or symbols, focusing on your intention. So what are you harvesting? What are you releasing? It's not about perfection. It's about energy and presence. And then number 2, this is one of my favorites, the corn silk blessing wand. So you take the silky threads from the corn, or substitute it with yellow thread, yarn, or even shredded paper again, and wrap them around a stick or a twig, about 6 to 9 inches. Then you tie it at one end, and it almost looks like a tiny harvest broom, but it says wand, but honestly it looks more like a broom to me. But you bless the wand as you go. You bless the wand as you go, then through the day, you bless things with it. Your altar, your home, your child's toys, maybe even your bank account, calling in prosperity, peace, health, love, or whatever it is that your heart needs in that moment. And don't worry about how it looks. This is about the energy. This is about remembering. This is about reverence through joy. And you're honoring the land, the spirits of the season, and your own intuition by doing these things. And honestly, that's more than enough.
Absolutely.
And all you need is yellow paper, or plain paper you can color yellow with your child, scissors, glue, or tape, and then optional string and a hole punch. You don't necessarily need a hole punch, but you can because the hole doesn't have to be perfect, but let me get into it so you know what the heck I'm talking about. So you're going to cut out a few circles to represent the sun. Get creative here. This is where you or your little one can design the sun however it feels right. So you can cut out squiggly lines, triangles, or sunbursts, and then you're going to glue those to your sun. So you're going to craft the whole sun. You're going to make it radiant. You're going to make it playful. It could be imperfect, like life itself. And then you can glue them onto another piece of paper and write affirmations around them. Like, I honor the light, I welcome clarity, or I am ready to receive. Or, if you want to get a little more dimensional, you can poke a hole at the top of the sun, tie a string through them, and hang them in your window, or on the wall, or above your altar. I'm really loving the window idea, though, because I'm feeling like the sun's coming in. You're honoring the sun. He sees it. And then wherever you want to honor the, return of the light, the warmth, and the life force of the sun. So,
yeah,
I recommend the window.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's really fun, right? It's it seems so simple, but just your intention, just the intention of it and what you're doing and what you're honoring just makes it so much more special. Mm-hmm. And, it's just a beautiful way to connect with the solar energy, celebrate creativity, clarity, and vision, and mark this seasonal threshold with joy.
Right.
And I just want to say, these small crafts, they are very childlike, but you don't necessarily need a child with you to use as an excuse to do it.
Right.
You connecting with your imaginative childlike energy is so super important with manifesting and getting what it is that you want out of life.
Healing. Yeah, I recommend it for my clients all the time, like my coaching clients and counseling clients, when they're doing their inner child healing work. That's one way to connect. I tell them to get an adult coloring book, or not even an adult one. Who cares? Or do Lego, and the dollar store is brilliant for that. You can go in there and they have little craft kits, that you can do. You can grab coloring books, you can grab, crayons or colored pencils or markers, whatever you want to use. And just take those moments for yourself and color. And another thing that I tell my clients, draw something with your non-dominant hand. That is a way to connect to your inner child too. Don't worry about being an artist. It's your non-dominant hand. Of course, it's probably going to look like crap, right? We're not trying to make masterpieces here. What we're trying to do is heal and connect, right? And that's a beautiful way to do it. So even if you just make squiggly lines or whatever, it doesn't even have to be anything. But yeah, give it a try. Give it a try. But I love the whole coloring book thing. I do it myself.
I actually, you reminded me that I actually have an adult Edgar Allan Poe coloring book and an adult dragon coloring book. And I have a pack of colored pencils. There was one time where I was like, I need a coloring book. I don't know why, but I was like, I need this.
Yeah.
And then I found them. I don't remember where I found them, but
I was just going to ask you, where did you get the Edgar Allan Poe one?
No, I know. I do not remember.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? If you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. Choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Maybe he was Barnes & Nobles. Who knows? I don't know. I can figure it out. I don't know if they still have the same ones. But
I know I found a really pretty one with a bunch of mandalas in it. Yeah. And I found that at the dollar store. Yeah. So you just go and have a look. It doesn't have to cost you anything, or very much, right? And especially right now, because everybody already has all their back to school supply stuff out.
Very true.
Right? So you can go get stuff real cheap.
Connect back with your inner Lisa Frank.
Yeah.
90s.
Yep. There you go. Go and get yourself a Trapper Keeper.
I don't even know if they still make Lisa Frank, do they?
I don't know. I don't even. Do they make Trapper Keeper anymore? I don't know anything.
I know there's a Lisa Frank tarot deck. I don't know if it's still out and being sold, but now I kind of want it. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Wow, it probably came up for a reason. There's probably messages in that particular deck for you. Yeah. But another thing that you can do, Krystal was mentioning the crafts, and I love that. And I love incorporating your little ones into that too. So cute. Writing down the intentions. You can also do some fire alchemy, because this is a fire festival, right? So you want to write things down. Write things down maybe that you want to get rid of in your life. Things you want to let go of too. And just burn it. You don't have to have a bonfire or anything like that. You can just use a candle. That's fine. Do it safely, of course. Write it down on just a little piece of paper and just, burn it. Yeah. And then, again, you can write the things you want to bring in and the intentions and do the same. That's fire alchemy. And if you have an altar or a sacred space, you might want to leave an offering for the Fae, like milk and honey, or shiny things like coins, or, things that are shiny. They're very particularly active at this Sabbath. And speaking of Sabbath, Black Sabbath, Ozzy.
So sad. So sad.
Yeah. We were discussing how he's known as the Prince of Darkness, but he's really not. He's such a light. Ozzy made it okay to be weird, He was just such a light and such a kind, generous, loving soul. You could just see it, once he got rid of the attachment of the addiction, demons, and all that kind of stuff that went along with it. It's just a beautiful, wonderful, kind soul. It's just so sad.
Yeah, what was I saying? I was watching this video the other day of, I think I sent it to you on TikTok. It was a video of a storm going on.
Yes.
But in the background was Ozzy's song, and the person said, wow, he's having one hell of one hell of a concert up there, and it just reminded me of what you were saying the other day when you had a storm over in Canada.
Yes.
And you said that Thor was very upset.
Yes.
But then when I was watching this video, I was like, wow, he's partying with Thor.
Yes,
Awesome.
yes. That is the energy that I got immediately. I'm like, oh my God, he is having the best party right now with Odin and Thor. He's in Valhalla. Ozzy's in Valhalla. Love it. Of course he is. He's Viking. He's got a Viking spirit, man, for sure. But yeah, we had a crazy storm. It was crazy. Like, I was in a store getting some pet food, and all the power went out.
So scary.
It was, yeah. And then I went outside, and the sky was the wrong color. Like, it was just this greenish yellow. Like, it's so hard to describe. Oh, man. It was frightening. But luckily, it swung southeast. Yeah. But we still have a lot of damage around here from the big ice storm that we had back in the early spring. You know, a lot of trees that still haven't been cleaned up. So we lost power immediately. And I had like a PTSD moment.
Well, I was like actually very worried when you were having that storm as well, because I know that I think there's a tree that's by your house
Yes.
that's like a little bit wobbly. So I'm like, oh my gosh, don't stay upstairs, like
Yeah.
go downstairs. I don't
No.
like this.
No, I was frightened. Yeah, it's broken right off, and it's marked. It's got a
Okay,
like
good,
yellow
good.
spray paint, or sorry, orange spray paint around it. So I know someone has marked it to take it down. But the way that the wind was blowing, like it would have crashed into my bedroom. And then, like, I saw a video of a guy who actually did have a tree crash through his bedroom. Or not, like, through his house. Luckily, he's fine, and the damage is going to be fixed. But, yeah, I had to giggle for a minute because this guy had the most Canadian accent ever. Like, I can't
Yes,
even...
we were not giggling because a tree fell
No.
on top of his house. Everything was fine. We were giggling because of the accent.
Oh, yes. Yeah, he's just... Like, he couldn't be more Canadian if he tried. Oh, my gosh. I can't even duplicate it because I can't even do it that good. Oh, my goodness. I may share that as well on my social
It was
media.
like he got the whole thing on video. He was recording the whipping wind.
Yeah.
And then he pans over to his house and he's like, oh my goodness, there's a tree. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not, that's not even what
Yeah.
he said, but like, it was like,
No.
it literally, like, the tree fell directly on the house. And he was like, well, that's a great video to send into my homeowner's insurance.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, at least he got it all on video. But yeah, it was crazy. And then also Malcolm Jamal Warner. Oh, that broke my heart too. My very first crush, Theo Huxtable.
Okay,
Oh.
that was totally a freak accident and unexpected on my end. When you sent me that, I was like, no, I need to definitely fact check this real quick because I don't believe this.
Oh, I know.
So young, like, beautiful.
Yeah, I posted the last video that he posted. Just heartbreaking. He had a flower in his hair, you know, because his daughter put it there, and he had a beautiful message about, like, if you can't find a reason to smile, be the reason that somebody else can. And he signed off by, like, I'll be back soon or something like that. And I was like, oh.
That
Yeah.
reminds me, actually, going back to Ozzy, that other video that I saw
Yeah.
of Ozzy with just his vocals that were recorded. I think it was for his farewell tour.
Oh,
Don't
yes.
quote me on that.
Yeah.
But it was just his vocals separated, singing Mama, I'm Coming Home.
Oh, my God.
Oh my God, heartbreaking.
Wow. Yeah.
That reminded me of that video that you were just talking about.
Mhm.
You hear it in his voice.
Yeah.
He knew. And oh man.
He did.
All of these sad deaths, I don't like this. I mean, I
No.
know that it happens. It's part of life. This is what we're actually talking about right now.
Yeah,
with
exactly.
On the holiday,
Yeah.
just like the cycles of life and death and rebirth and
Yeah. Connie Francis too. But at least for her, her song Pretty Little Baby, it was trending again.
Viral.
Yeah. And she actually made a video. She was so excited about it. And that happened just before she died. So, like, I'm so glad that
Yeah, what a beautiful moment, like a beautiful memory. Like,
yeah, it was like a full circle thing for her.
I was just gonna say, another cyclical moment.
Beautiful. And then like also like Hulk Hogan, but we don't care about him. But that's good. One less. But there's been a lot of stuff. And then like other synchronicities. We were talking about the animal synchronicities too. We had the shark ones, of course. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's Shark Week, folks. So we had the message of the great white coming through, which I have tattooed on my right arm, but I had some crazy synchronicities with it. So I wrote on my Facebook, I literally put, manifesting that next year's Shark Week will involve me, my son Tristan, and Andy Casagrande, because I love him, he's awesome, diving in a cage, observing great whites, because that's something I've wanted to do my whole life. I've loved them since I was a little wee girl. So I literally just typed that and I put on Shark Week, and the thing I put on, the first thing it says to me, my TV, I turn to the thing and I hear Tristan's descending into the cage. And I'm like, what the fuck? That's my son's name. And I literally just wrote that. It's Tristan Guttridge, Dr. Tristan Guttridge. But still, I was like, wow, synchronicity. And then the very next show was Andy Casagrande. And he was in Canada. He was checking out all the sharks in Canada. And I was like, wait a minute. Second synchronicity. Andy is in Canada, where I am, right? And then I had a few other personal ones. Like I was singing that song, Messy, in my car. And I literally like just come back in the house and I open my thing and I see a video of this guy sitting on a beach singing that song. And it says at the top, them, traveling won't fix your problems. And then it says, me. And I'm like, oh my God, another synchronicity. So anyways, back to the shark. We'll get into that real quick, and then we're going to do some cards, because Krystal's got some cards going, and I have actually the Lughnasadh Lammas deck, and we're going to pull a card from that too.
Before we do that, yeah. I just want you to run around to Stevie Nicks real quick.
Oh, yes, we have to address Stevie, right? Because we were talking about balance, right? And light and dark and closing of cycles. Okay, so anyone who's a fan of Stevie Nicks knows the lore around Silver Springs, okay? And also Lindsey Buckingham. They had music. It didn't get released. It was before Fleetwood Mac. And there was a war between them. Like they hated each other for the longest time. And then Stevie posted a lyric in her own handwriting on her social media. And then like a little while later, Lindsey Buckingham posted the responding lyric in his handwriting on his social media. And all the fans were like, oh, what? We were all at attention. What is happening here? And something is happening. They're releasing, I think, some Buckingham Nicks from the first album. And this, to me, what this is telling me, first of all, it's witchy, and we had to discuss it. It's
super
Stevie.
badass.
It is. And you know what's cool about this, too? There's a synchronicity with this. Like, 2 days before any of this happened, I posted a meme in my story that was like a shower caddy, and it had a tambourine in it, and it said, just in case Stevie Nicks comes on when I'm in the shower. I was like, I knew. Some part of me knew as well. But on the bigger scale of what it is saying is that letting go of toxicity, masculine and feminine energy, not at war. Right? I love it. Love it. Okay, so back to the shark. We'll go back there really quick. So the message of the great white shark. People with the shark totem are very divinely protected, have amazing energy, deeply intuitive, and have deep emotions. Now, this may sound odd considering sharks pretty much only have one facial expression that we are aware of, But with water as their element, of course, they are creatures of dreamscape and the real of psychic awareness. In this, sharks are not void of emotion, but rather complete masters of it. They don't wear their emotions on their fins, but you may rest assured that they feel a great deal. When a shark enters your life, it portends a time of fearlessly facing those things or people who hold you back. All too often in this modern life, our own inner guidance and the fire of its underdevelopedness. We don't listen. We allow outside opinions and judgments to suppress our natural instincts to live life to its fullest. Sharks will have none of that. Shark does what it wants, when it wants, and how it wants. Shark is primal, knowing that we were born to manifest. When the shark swims into your life, he offers you safety from those jarring persons or situations. The predator in your life is about to be frightened away with confidence. This creature reminds you of your personal power and the inner strength necessary to get rid of any negativity. Shark teaches you how to take a bite out of the fear of success. Delve deeply into shark symbolism and the meaning to find out
how to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
About how the spirit guide can offer you strength, animate you, and help motivate you. In Hawaii, this animal embodies our lost loved ones. So the shark makes a really good companion when you're doing ancestral magic. Now, we were also just discussing Stevie and Lindsay, right? And I got a notification on my phone about the new music being released at 7:19 in the morning. So I decided to look up the meaning of 719. So I'm going to give you guys that too. So spiritual growth, self-discovery, and the importance of spending quality time with loved ones and maximizing current moments due to life's uncertainty. It's also a message of abundance and prosperity. Your guide team are guiding you to trust your talents and abilities, pursue your passions with confidence, just like the shark. You may be considering a new career path or starting your own business, Krystal Wray. This number is a sign that the universe is supporting your endeavors. Trust that the resources that you need will be provided and taking inspired action towards your goals. Regarding matters of the heart, if you're single, 719 is a sign that new love is on the horizon. You may feel drawn to someone who shares your spiritual values and interests. If you're in a relationship, this number is a reminder to trust in the divine plan for your relationship. Your guide team is helping you strengthen your spiritual connection with your partner and to communicate your needs openly and honestly. So again, that message of communication that was coming through from the llama. Right? Mm-hmm. So I see you shuffling over there. Do you have something for me?
I don't know. You want to pull? I think you should do the your llamas first.
Okay.
Maybe pull a card of energy. I mean, I have some things out here.
Okay.
But I kind of wanted you to do that first. I felt like that was the right move.
Okay, definitely. Oh, this is interesting. So the first card that I have here, I just pulled the thing out, and on the very bottom of the deck is corn. And we've been discussing the significance of corn and looking up in the book, it's on page 55. 55 is the number of significant change, right? There will be significant change. So I'm getting the energy of cycles ending in your life and new ones beginning, okay? Something could have ended a little while ago and just the residual energy is just kind of moving through and moving out of the way so something new can begin. Okay, so we also have here, oh, man, crazy. So we were talking about, right, Stevie representing balanced feminine energy, right? Listen to this. Sacred feminine energy, mother goddess, receptivity, and balance. This is your invitation to open yourself up to the inner workings of your spirit. Navigate your decisions and actions from a place of authenticity and balance. Corn represents both the sun and the sacred feminine, represented by the corn mother and the corn maiden. It's your symbol of tempering action with allowing what you desire to come to you now. In a reading, this card is guiding you to approach situations from both the head and the heart. You're being asked to stay open to spirit while also grounding your desires into the physical world. Dreams without action are a fantasy, and action without intention is a wasted time. Likewise, there are times when you need to push and times when you should sit back and let things just come to you. It's a constant dance of refining, always tinkering until you get just the right formula. Reread the meaning of this card and pay attention when it feels right for your path forward. This is a message of action and receptivity. I love that. Wow. This is going right along with everything that we are talking about right now.
Yes. I want to get a little bit more on the serious note of that. So, I'm going to tell you that what I'm seeing through my cards right here, this change is not for everybody. It's not going to happen for everybody in the collective, because I have the Judgment card here upside down, and what I'm getting from that, kind of bouncing off of your message, is you have to move forward from the heart, being your authentic self, and some people are not ready for that.
Right.
They're not ready to be their authentic, true, genuine selves. And it's not that they don't want to, it's just that maybe they don't know how to, or maybe being their true, authentic selves means separating themselves from situations, environments, and people that maybe in this lifetime they're not going to do.
Yeah.
So I just want to, I got this like serious note for a minute that if you really want change, you have all of these opportunities in front of you to choose from, but you have to choose.
Choose it.
You have to choose something.
Yeah.
But most importantly, you must choose yourself.
Yeah.
And again, that might not be for some people in this time, but if it is for you and you are ready to take that leap in choosing yourself, and that might mean changing your whole life around. That might mean, I don't know why I'm picturing right now like a wife and a husband, like a housewife, maybe that doesn't like have financial, financially like can't support herself or something. Mm-hmm. That might mean setting yourself up, maybe getting a part-time job, just stacking up your income.
So you
maybe,
can.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe getting a storage unit, maybe slowly putting things for like a new apartment into a storage unit. That seems very particular, actually, that message. So whoever listens to this podcast and, this resonates with you, definitely. But it can be for anything, like a job. Because I do see when you start to take this moment seriously into jumping into your true authentic self, everything's going to turn around for you. Everything's going to start to feel so much more like free, less forced, and doors are going to open for you. Mm-hmm. And I just want to tell you right now, whoever it is that needs to hear this message, I want to tell you that you are enough the way that you are. You are special. Your gifts are special. Mm-hmm. Things that you have to say to the world and the messages that you have to give are important. And maybe the environment or situation that you're in right now are making you feel like you're less of. But I am telling you that that is not true. And you have a support team. You have people around you that care very deeply for you, that are trying to give you this message as well. But it's up to you now to take that step.
I hear geese outside right now honking. flying. So I want you guys, we were talking about the spirit animals, to look up the message of the goose.
I'm literally going to do that right this moment.
Okay, you can do that while I read Vegetable Garden, because the next card that I got is Vegetable Garden. Now, I also want to say the deck that I'm using right now is the Season of the Witch Lammas Oracle by Lorraine Anderson and Juliet Diaz. Okay, so we got Vegetable Garden next. So 41, if you want to look up the number. All right, it's on page 41. The keywords here are advancing towards goals, evaluating progress, and consistent effort. It's time to check in with and reflect on the seeds you have planted. Planting a vegetable garden requires consistent work, evaluation, and adjustment. You cannot simply plant a few seeds and hope they will grow. You must alter your water and your fertilizing schedule, add or take away mulch, stay vigilant for pests, and clear out any weeds that crop up between spaces. Your goals require similar evaluation. And now's an excellent time to check in with your goals and reflect on your progress. When this card appears, ask yourself whether you are heading in the right direction or you need to make an adjustment. Are your goals still accurate for the person you want to be? It isn't enough to keep throwing energy at something, an effort that isn't worth the reward if you are chasing outdated desires that no longer apply. Likewise, pulling this card can mean you have been distracted maybe from your true desire. Perhaps you're spending too much time investing in someone else's garden to the detriment of your own. Take time in the coming days to reflect on what is needed to continue along your path towards success. So this may be another message too regarding the sacral chakra, because I was literally just weeding my vegetable garden yesterday around my pumpkins. Okay, so feminine energy coming through, clearing out of the sacral chakra. I fear. That Freudian slip, eh? So. Yeah. I think releasing of fear of being seen, of moving forward, of being successful.
Yes. Thank you for that confirmation.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really feel like this has to do with work. This has to do with manifesting. This has to do with like all those goals, your abundance. You know, I think you might be limiting yourself by believing that you don't deserve certain things.
Exactly. And before, I don't know if you are going to catch it on the recording, but right when we were starting the reading, a car alarm started going
off. I heard
and
it.
I was like, oh, this wants us to pay attention to something. And there it is. Like, that was the confirmation right there.
Yeah, definitely.
But I did actually have a moment to use trusty old Google to go over the geese spirit animal message.
Alrighty then.
So just a little synopsis. The goose spirit animal embodies themes of family, loyalty, teamwork, and communication.
Wow.
It also represents guidance, resilience, and adaptability. When a goose appears in your life as a spirit animal, it may be a call to trust your intuition, strengthen your bonds with loved ones, and embrace collaboration.
Yeah, because they were flying together. There was more than one, you know, and we know that geese fly like in a triangle together. We know that. Yeah. And you don't want to mess with them.
Oh, no.
I love them. They're nice to me, but they can be angry.
Yeah, and like the geese, my father used to love geese, and I have this special connection with geese.
Wow.
I remember where we would be like on a highway, and the way that they move as well, like when they're crossing the street, like you better stop, okay, because they are going to take their time. And like I was going to say, I remember stopping on the highway and like just stopping in the middle of the road and my father getting out of the car and making sure that he stopped all traffic with his body so he can protect the mama geese and the daddy geese and the baby geese, and he made sure every single one of them safely got across that street.
Yeah,
and like every single time I see the geese, I think about my father.
Yeah.
So that very special message. Like when you said that you heard them flying over your house, I'm like, wow, there's Daddy.
Did you hear them honking? Could you hear them?
I heard them very, very, very little, but I did.
Okay. Yeah, they were loud. Like they flew directly over. And I'm looking out the window right now, and there's a squirrel. There's a gray squirrel crossing the road. So the squirrel is all about change too, right now, right? But yeah, we have to let Miss Krystal Wray go to work because she has to go to work. And we're gonna wrap up for today. So we have had some beautiful, beautiful messages. Very grateful about that. Very grateful that you could come and hang out with me and talk about Lughnasadh today, Krystal. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me again. It's always a pleasure here on the Witching Hour.
Yes, we love having you. And we'll see you again next time. And thank you guys so much for being here. And I will see you guys next time too. And remember to stay magical and always make your own magic. See you guys later. Bye.
Bubba Wallace here from 2311 Racing. Funny thing about being fast, you end up waiting a lot. First to show up, first in line, then just waiting. Me, I rev up Chumba Casino. With over 200 social casino games, no slow lanes here. Why sit around when you can spin? I'm already racing. Your turn. Play for free at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.